Thank you for the questions and comments. To address the first question, we did not want to shy away from using the word sneaky because it was in the reference used. But the real debate isn't if it's sneaky. Ultimately, we are debating whether it is an ethical advertising practice, not if it is sneaky, sly, or crafty. Let's cut one debate out and agree that it is a sneaky tactic. That doesn't make it universally unethical. In fact, we've shared multiple examples of how the tactic can be used in a very ethical, pro social manner.
We must also separate out the unethical behavior of scammers who intentionally seek to harm others. Using such examples in comparison to native ads is not only hyperbolic, it's distracting. Moreover, it's not a fair comparison to make that because someone can be fooled, that everyone will be fooled. To cite your own sources, viewers were displeased upon discovering they were viewing an ad. The hidden implication there is that most people eventually discovered it was, in fact, an ad. Why? Because it was marked as commercial content in several locations.
As for the topic of age, from a utilitarian perspective, we want to cause the most good for the most people. To that point, your chart obscures how many older Americans are actually on the internet. Less than 17% of the US population is actually over 65. So you're making an assumption on less than 15% of the total US population.
As you say, traditional advertising can work, but it's becoming far less valuable because consumers have largely learned to ignore it. This advertising schema, as Freistein and Wright put it, has made viewers incredibly skeptical to any persuasive attempt. This limits our ability to share even beneficial messages with them. Native ads can cut through this barrier and present them with the message that could be incredibly helpful, providing that help is categorically ethical.
In regard to existing research suggesting that the majority of people are unable to easily identify native ad content, one example you shared was from 2013 before the FTC introduced guidelines for native advertising, including specific language related to compensation, such as using paid for by rather than presented by.
And remember, our first video showed that being overtly deceptive hurt advertisers more than it helped them. So it's in everyone's interest to follow these guidelines. Thank you again for your responses. We enjoyed them and look forward to hearing your conclusions.